When music gets hard, come see Professor Lee Euph.
Hey guys, I'm Professor Lee Euph, and I'm back with more review videos for music theory. Today, it's just going to be pretty basic, in a sense. I mean, all we're going to talk about is the different types of minor scales, and just how to write them out. So hopefully you know enough about your key signatures and major scales that the minor scales aren't too difficult outside of that. It's some rules you have to remember, but that's about it. So, I mean, just get into it, right? Let's say we want to figure out G sharp natural minor. So, first step we want to do is figure out the key signature. So, we don't know the key signature of G sharp natural minor. So, how you figure it out is from the last video we talked about. If you start on a B, in treble clef, let's say, this is all treble clef. If you start on a B in treble clef, you go down 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3. It will put you down here. Wow, that's terrible. Anyway, so if it's a B major scale, it's G minor. B major, G minor. Anyway, so now essentially we're just going to go backwards. So we start at G sharp. So right here we already know this is sharp. And we're going to go up 3 half steps instead. So that should put us up at B. So, couldn't even put that on the line. So that puts us up to B. So it means the major scale is B major. So now we can actually erase this stuff. We don't need that anymore. So now that we know it's B major, what is the key signature of B major? 5 sharps. So F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and E sharp. Alrighty then. So now that we have our key signature, this is going to be pretty simple from here. For natural minor, we're just going to make sure to start on the G sharp because it's G sharp natural minor. Don't accidentally start on B just because we're in B major. The B major has nothing to do at this point except for figuring out how many sharps or flats are in the key signature. So anyway, so now we start on G sharp, which would be right here. And then we can literally just make our scale from there. Actually, I'm going to draw these in circles. They're a little bit easier to see. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and yep, there we go. Now that's it for G sharp natural minor. You don't have to do anything else because you're already starting on your G sharp, and all the accidental, so to speak, from B major is already in the key signature because they're relative minor. It's B major's relative minor. So you don't have to worry about anything else besides just drawing out your notes and having the key signature. That's it for natural minors. Now let's do another one. But this time we're going to do a harmonic minor. So we're going to do F harmonic minor. This time actually, I know I just wrote a treble clef. Let's do it in bass clef. I don't do enough in treble clef for you guys. I mean, I don't do enough in bass clef for you guys, so I'm going to try to include a little bit more of that. Anyway, so if our starting note is F, which is right here, we're going to go up 3 half steps, so I'll put us up to A. So the major scale, the relative major scale, is A major. Technically A flat major, if you go up the 3 proper half steps. Because as you're about to figure out, what flats are in A major? You got B flat, E flat, and A flat. And D flat even. Yep. Yeah, I had to double check myself, making sure I'm putting everything in the right spots. So yeah, there's A flat major. Okay. So now, again, now the A flat major really has nothing to do with it. We just figured out the key signature. Now, That's done with. So now we make sure to put our attention back onto the F harmonic minor, the F specifically. So our first note will be on the F. So it'll be right up here. And then we just write out our notes from there. So we get F, G, A, B, C, D, and E. Hold up. Ha! I might have just did that wrong. Nope, that is correct, I think. Yeah. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah. Wow. Struggle bus today. It's okay. Anyway. So now that we have all of our notes written out, we need to remember that, hey, this is not natural minor. If this was natural minor, we'd be done. But it's harmonic minor. So the trick with harmonic minor is we have to raise the 7th scale degree, which all that means is you take the 7th note in the scale, which is the E, and we're going to raise it. Since, well, let's see, is it E flat in here? Yes, E flat is in the key signature. So already this is E flat. So how do you just raise a flat? You'd make it a natural. It would not be E sharp because it's already E flat. If you went from E flat to E sharp, that's a whole step. You're only raising this up half a step. So it's E flat according to the key signature. So you raise it up half a step and just make it natural essentially. So instead of E flat, it's just E. Alrighty. And then it's going to be the same thing on the way down. So we don't have to then write out the full scale at that point. Okay, and then the last kind of minor scale we want to go over is, I'll do this one in treble clef again. This kind of scale, you're going to have to write out all the notes going up and all the notes coming down because it's different going up as it is going down. So let's take a melodic minor. So we go to A, it's right here. We go up our 3 half steps, which takes us up to C. So we know it's C major. All right. So how many sharps or flats are in the key of C major? Nothing. So we can literally just start writing out our notes from there. So we start on A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Hopefully it looks clear enough for you guys. Anyway, so when it comes to melodic minor, we need to not only raise the 7th, like we do in harmonic, but we need to also raise the 6th. So again, you're only raising it up half a step. So in the key signature, there's nothing, so we know for this F and G, we have to raise these two. It's just regular F. It's just F natural according to the key signature. So how do you raise just an F? You add a sharp. Same thing with G. It's just G natural in the key signature, so we're going to raise it by adding a sharp. So on the way up, you raise the 6th and 7th, half a step, so it makes it now F and G sharp. Now the fun part is going on the way down. So now you just write out your notes for the way down. All right. So again, on the way up, you raise the 6th and 7th. On the way down, it's just natural minor. So in this case, what we do here, we added sharps. Now we have to take away those sharps. So we need to add naturals. Because remember, in natural minor, all we had to do was write out the notes and we just followed the key signature at that point. So now in this case, we're just following the key signature. If this is one of those cases where there's a bar line before this next half, so let's say, I don't know, bar line ends here, right? Then, as you know, accidentals don't carry over the bar line. Accidentals only carry through the measure. So if you got here, but there's a bar line here, you don't even have to put these naturals here. Already at this point, it's a new measure, so you follow the key signature unless an accidental is written. Usually you'll see these accidentals written just as a reminder, hey, those aren't sharp anymore. But realistically, if you're just reading music, you start this new measure, you're just following the key signature at that point until you see an accidental. So even if I didn't put the naturals here, you'd still just play a regular G and a regular F. You would not keep them sharp. But anyway, so for the purpose of melodic minor, the way on going up, you raise the 6th and 7th. On the way down, it's just natural minor, which in this case, you basically just draw out your notes and they abide by the key signature. Alrighty, hopefully that made some sense. In my head it makes sense, but sometimes I don't make it very clear, so you'll have to let me know. Was there anything else? I don't know if I need to do another example. I mean, you guys can always rewind the video essentially. No, I think we're probably pretty good. You guys should know your key signatures and majors pretty well now. And just as a recap, it should be now easy to figure out what's the key signature for the majors, and then what's the relative minor. So again, if you see, what's the key signature for G major? Well, if you think about it, and we use my trick, you start with your sharp. Start with the sharp side, because normally the flat side, the key signature is either A flat, E flat, D flat. So if it has a flat after that beginning letter, so like A flat, you pretty much can assume that the key signature is going to contain flats at that point. That's not always the case, but for this one, since it is G and not specifically G flat, I'm going to start with the sharp side and see if it works out. So what I mean by that is, okay, so we start with the sharp side. So we write out our sharps. Wow. Which, remember, is just B, G, C, F backwards for the flats. Anyway, I can get into that later. Anyway, so to determine sharps, remember we take one sharp, raise it up half a step, and that would be the key signature. If you had two sharps, that would be F and C sharp. So you take C sharp, raise that up half a note there, and that would be your key of D major. Half a step, that's what I meant. Half a step up, and that would be key of D major. If it was three sharps, it'd go F, C, G, and you raise up G sharp half a step, and that would be your key of A major. So basically, what you want to do now is it says, okay, find the key signature of G major. So now you basically just want to go through each of these and be like, okay, if you raise F sharp, because these are the sharps, if you raise F sharp up half a step, does that get you to G? Actually, it does. We got lucky. So now you know that the key signature for G major is just F sharp. Well, I'm struggling. It's just F sharp. If we had something like A major, we go through the same process. If you raise F sharp up half a step, that goes to G. That's not what we're looking for. C sharp up half a step is D. Not what we're looking for. G sharp up half a step is A. So now we know the key of A major has F, C, and G. Hopefully that makes some sense. And then go back to G major real quick. Try to find the relative minor. Well, we should already know how to do that. Basically find G and go down 3 half steps, which will put you to E. So that will be E minor at that point. We do the same thing over here with A. You have A sitting here. Go down 3 half steps, and that'll put you to F. But remember, it's F sharp because of the key signature. It says F sharp minor. Okay. That's pretty much it. Again, since these are the relative minors, A major has 3 sharps. That means F sharp minor also has 3 sharps, obviously. Just wanted to clarify that. But you have to be able to go back and forth with determining the major from the minor and the minor from the major and figuring out key signatures back and forth. You have to be able to identify if that shows 3 sharps, you have to know how to figure out your way to figure out, oh, hey, that's A major, and vice versa. If you see, okay, what's a key signature of A major, you have to be able to work yourself backwards. So for a flat example real quick, since I did 2 sharp ones, let's write out our order of flats. This is what I was talking about before, bead, greatest common factor, or GCF. That's just how I kind of remember it. Anyway, so we want to know the key signature of E flat major. Again, we'll do treble clef. Okay. So how did we figure out our flats? Well, if you remember correctly, we'd use the second to last flat in the key signature. So if it had 3 flats, so it'd be B, E, and A, the second to last flat would be E. So the key signature would be E flat. If you had 5 flats, that'd be B, E, A, D, and G. You'd use the second to last flat, which is D, so your key signature would be D flat major. That would have 5 flats. So even though I've already said it, we'll go over it real quick again. To figure out E flat major, essentially you find the E in your little chart here, and you go up one more step, which would be A. So you know it's going to be 3 flats, because if the second to last one is E. So B, E, and A. So your key of E flat major has 3 flats. And then to figure out the minor, you start at E flat. We'll just do the E up here. Go down 3 half steps, and that would put us at, C. And we don't have to worry about it being C flat or anything crazy because C flat's not in the key signature. So it's just going to be regular C. So it'll just be C minor. Alright. So hopefully that helped a lot. I just crammed all in one video. If you need any more explanation on the minors, just let me know and I can always talk you guys through it a little bit better, a little bit slower. I know I talk pretty quick. Anyway, so that's it for day 9 and 10.